Happy New Year, everybody. It's that time of year again. Time for... Oh, fuck.
Coming at you!
So 2017 has passed 2 months ago, and 2018 is here, also 2 months ago. Okay guys, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm really late on this video, and there's not much else to be said other than the fact that this is just the result of my busy personal life. It really limits my time to be able to make videos. It is what it is, at least the video's out, and that's more than I can say for the second half of 2017. I apologize. A lot. Ultimately, it was great personally. I went to 2 of my first conventions, I met some of my favorite people, I even got this guy right here autographed. And I also managed to rekindle a lost friendship that I valued very much, and that changed things for the better. 2017 was definitely a huge year for gaming, and I said I hoped that it would be in the last year's video. In fact, it was a revolutionary year. We saw the debut of new IPs and franchises, as well as the prosperous return of older established ones, and of course, the debut of this baby right here. Without further ado, it's time for my appreciation. These are the top 10 games of 2017. This is probably the only time besides Golden Abyss that you'll see an Uncharted game below 5 on my list. The Lost Legacy isn't a full-fledged Uncharted game, but rather a standalone side story with the amazing Uncharted gameplay that was perfected with my Game of the Year from last year, Uncharted 4. It retains its aspects such as the beautiful, fully detailed environments, the open-ended level design, amazing stealth mechanics, fluid combat, and interesting storyline. While it hadn't changed much from its predecessor, I still think it holds up well, especially for its price tag. Chloe is one of my favorite Uncharted characters, and I'm glad to see her have the spotlight. Hopefully this means the Uncharted series can continue in some way. For now though, The Lost Legacy can sit soundly at number 10. I've never really been a big horror game guy. And no, I'm not scared. I'm not scared! I just remain focused on most other games. In terms of Resident Evil, I never really found myself interested in the series, and especially since Resident Evil 6 was rather disappointing. Resident Evil 7, however, changed things real quickly. The series was back. I've never found myself genuinely enjoying a horror game quite like this one. From those nasty creatures to those— Jesus Christ! What the fuck is that?! Sorry. To those chilling boss fights. Resident Evil 7 is a thrill ride from start to finish. The level design and puzzles were ultimately the best part for me. I enjoyed having to think while my surroundings tried to kill me, or worse, make me, shit myself. I'm definitely interested in seeing where the series goes from here. For now, Biohazard 7 will scare its way to number 9. We're going to be doing one thing and one thing only. You know the rest. Wolfenstein 2, although this is far from being the second entry in the series. I am also not well associated with this franchise. I was kind of born in the late 90s. But like with Doom, I don't let that deter me at all. I do at times simply enjoy just running and gunning, killing everything in sight. But do you know what I enjoy more than killing demons?
Killing Nazis.
Yes, and what a time for this type of game to be coming out, right? The first thing to notice is the pure focus on single player. There's no multiplayer at all. Instead, you get a fantastic story about continuing the fight against the Nazi-controlled America in a timeline where they won World War II. Combat. Oh boy, where do I start? I'll just say it's freaking amazing and let the clips speak for themselves. I'm really liking that there is hope for the FPS scene. Rather than letting it get buried under a mess of shallow FPSs, there is some love being shown, and that only makes this game a whole lot sweeter. Wolfenstein 2 shoots its way to number 8. Let us just sit back and appreciate this amazing concept alone. A 2D side-scroller with shooting mechanics similar to that of Contra, but get this, in the style of cartoons from the 1930s. You guys are indie
geniuses.
I mean, seriously, it's just so cool. It really gives me hope as an indie developer who's hoping to create something soon. The design of Cuphead is pretty much the biggest thing about it. From the chaotic levels to the overly chaotic boss fights, the game is just pure fun throughout the way. Not to mention, it is extremely challenging, which is a plus for me as I kinda tend to enjoy taking on for this channel. It also has its story elements, but understandably those do take a backseat to set design and gameplay. If you're a lover of the indie scene, then what are you waiting for? Even if you aren't, it's definitely something worth taking the time for. Cuphead soars its way to number 7. I think we've got a pattern going on here. That's 2 years in a row that I've covered 2 established franchises I've never even touched before. I mean, Doom, Final Fantasy, and Wolfenstein speak for themselves, but Persona? I couldn't even lie that a friend of mine played it. That was until Persona 5. Like with Final Fantasy 15, I've never really been a huge JRPG fan, but I felt eased right in. First thing to notice is beautiful presentation. I love seeing the anime art style, and its use in a video game? You already know that's an A+ in my book. Even more than just the in-game stuff, the entire thing just oozes life and color, making for, in my opinion, one of the best looking games in recent memory. As far as gameplay goes, the combat system is very intricate while not being too difficult to grasp. Character interaction is especially well put together, which is perfect considering how disappointing Mass Effect Andromeda was, and there needed to be a bit of balance. Speaking of characters, the story shines the brightest here, and it ultimately keeps you glued to the game while simultaneously avoiding this disaster. Persona 5, I believe, perfectly personifies number 6 spot. Another game from this year that really pushes the whole indie developer feeling even further, A Hat in Time, the totes adorbs 3D platformer. In fact, I might go ahead and say that my favorite genre of all time is the 3D platformer, but I'm not completely sure about that yet. Maybe that's a future video being teased right there. But what I am sure of is that A Hat in Time is a fantastic game. It's not just a simple 3D platformer, in fact it's a 3D collectathon much like the amazing Super Mario 64. And like that, This oozes with charm. The worlds to explore and the people to find there make up much of the charm with interesting subplots and level/mission design. The rest of the charm comes from Hatkit herself, who aside from being totes adorbs, controls amazingly like 3D Mario. Once again, it's games like this that inspire me to be a great game designer, and definitely not one that disappoints after a successful Kickstarter campaign. A Hat in Time flies its way to number 5. Introducing a brand new IP for PlayStation, Horizon Zero Dawn. Xbox, come on, it's time to catch up, dude. I just called a gaming console dude. Fuck, I think I might be going insane. Anyway, Horizon Zero Dawn. We have another open world adventure game with much to do. It's very reminiscent of other adventure games such as Far Cry, Uncharted, Skyrim, bit of Borderlands in there, and while it holds those similarities, it does a better job of creating its own identity. Like most other PlayStation exclusives, this game has a very rich story that really builds its world well. The world itself is filled to the brim with mechanical beasts waiting to kill you and ways to improve yourself. I really like exploring such a world in the third person through the eyes of an interesting character, and I'd say Aloy falls under that category. I know that there are those who may object to this being in the spot it is, but I want to assure you guys of one thing. This and the next 3 picks were all deserving of the number 1 spot. However, I can't just leave a 4-way tie for number 1. Well, actually I can, but I'm not going to because that would just ruin such a list. Horizon fans, this is truly a great game and don't let its spot tell you otherwise. It's sitting in good hands at number 4.
Here we go, off the rails. Don't you know it's time to raise our sails? It's freedom like you never knew.
Oh my! Is it Super Mario 64? No? Is it Super Mario Sunshine? No? Is it Super Mario Galaxy? Nope. It's Super Mario Odyssey! I can't remember the last time I sat down and was so glued to a Mario game. Like the other games on this list, Odyssey absolutely oozes charm all over the place. It really shows how much care Nintendo puts into games, and I really appreciate that. Right down to the point, the game returns to the style of Super Mario 64 and Sunshine with non-linear gathering of power stars. Oh, sorry, I mean power moons. Meh, they're the same thing. Though this time there are about 900 of them, so there's definitely never a dull moment, especially with these beautiful kingdoms to explore. There's a reason this game is called Odyssey. Mario himself is experiencing some of the best control he's ever had. There's so much satisfaction in landing moves that you didn't even know about, or even taking shortcuts due to some of those moves. As I said, this and Horizon along with the next 2 entries are all number 1 contenders. And even if I can't stop playing Super Mario Odyssey, oh, I'm playing it right now as we speak, there are the next 2 that tugged on my heartstrings just a little harder. I am happy to have it here though, at number 3. I think it's safe to say I had a massive hard-on for Sonic Mania when it was first announced.
What the fuck?
It's a bit crude, but nonetheless, I was wholeheartedly hyped for the damn game. And that hype was well deserved. Sonic returned to form after so many years while returning to his classic roots, but of course, being a next-gen classic game, which somehow makes sense, Sonic Mania takes advantage and goes over the top with what it offers. A roster of beautiful new zones and old ones returning with such beauty as well. Nostalgia! Must I really get into the music? It's the Sonic game, but even with that rep, it'll still blow your mind just like it did mine. The focus on the main trio with their own gameplay, their own super forms, and their own adventures is reminiscent of what made Sonic 3 and Knuckles one of my favorite games of all time, and its ability to do all that is why it's so high on this list. I would have even gone so far as to say it deserved number 1. A Sonic game at number 1 in 2017. What a time to be alive! But no, there's just one more game that took its place as king by storm. Sonic Mania spin dashes beautifully to number 2. And now, a little bit of love for the games that didn't make the list. And of course, the best of what could not qualify. Absolutely, positively breathtaking.
Pun entirely intended.
Thank you, Sonic. In fact, just like with Sonic Mania, the hype was real for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Almost 3 years of it, in fact. I got it with my Switch and never looked back. Zelda was different now. Not just a puzzle-solving, dungeon-crawling, item-of-the-day abusing game like those of old. Breath of the Wild is an open-world sandbox adventure game. A game where Hyrule is not just to travel to the next destination, but to explore, to find its secrets, to meet the people who live there, and most importantly, conquer the monsters roaming the land. Needless to say, the game is absolutely huge, filled with all sorts of things like side quests, shrines, and brand new weapons and armor for your arsenal. I know that the sudden change from the formula that Zelda's known for may seem alienating, but don't feel that way at all. It truly is a spectacle to behold, and hell, I'm debating with myself whether this game may be the best Zelda game ever or not. I don't know yet, and it's not really time for me to make another top 10 Zelda games just yet. I'm pretty sure it was a no-brainer that I was picking this game to be number 1, considering my love for the Zelda franchise, but there's a reason why I love these games so much. It's because they show the true passion of the video game industry. That definitely goes for the other 9 on this list, as well as the 9 from the previous year, and especially for Uncharted 4, my game of that year. I truly hope that 2018 has as much to offer as 2017 did, and at the time of this recording, I can say we have much to be excited for, but we will see in due time. For now, I am proud to present my game of the year for 2017, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And that concludes the top 10 games of 2017, which admittedly should have been released 2 months ago. But hey, better late than never. In fact, today, March 1st, 2018, is my birthday. Yes, I am turning 21 years old. And what a way to celebrate my birthday by uploading a great video like this. I wish you all a happy, fun, pain-free 2018. And as of now, I really hope that you're having a great year so far. Again, it seems as though 2018 is going to be a great year for gaming, but we can only hope. I myself will try to improve my channel the best way I can, starting by making sure I don't upload videos like this late. But we can worry about that in 2019. I just really want to thank you guys for watching, and really I want to show my appreciation to those, who have supported me even though I haven't really uploaded too much in the last year. So thank you guys. It's real amazing to have such great supporters, and I want to do everything I can to make sure that you all are happy and entertained and all sorts of things. So really, thank you. I hope you guys have a great night, again, a great year, great everything. You all deserve it. I'm going to sign off now. I will see you guys next video. Peace.